Link is just like, yes, yes, like that, you know. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna rank all the music tracks in the A Link to the Past soundtrack. So we'll be listening through the tracks in random order and see what we like about them. There are two criteria that I look at, and those are, is this song good for what it's trying to do? Does it fit its context? That's what I'm trying to say. If it does, then that's plus points. Also, another thing that's really important for me in, you know, getting a higher rank is if the song is good overall. Can you listen to it outside of the game? I am giving plus points for that as well. So it's gonna be a little bit messy, or it might be, we don't know yet. We'll see, but those are the two things that I look at the most. This is my opinion, but if you wanna have any input live while we're here, you might be able to persuade me. We'll see. No fancy names on the tiers. S, A, B, C, D. That's it. D is shit tier. So yeah, let's discuss them as they come. Okay, let's go. The only track that isn't random is gonna be the first one, okay? So let's start now. Title theme from A Link to the Past. I love, you know, here you have the Triforce just aligning, and then a sword comes through. You don't have that sound effect here. And it's so majestic what this track does. It's absolutely not something you can listen to outside of the game. I think this is a solid A tier because it hypes you their absolute fuck up when it plays, right? It would have been an S tier if it were longer, you know, had more substance to it, but for what it does or tried to do, I think this is an A tier song. Oh, okay, we're already here. We're already at Dark World. Okay. I can spoil it right now. This is one of my absolute favorite tracks of the whole Zelda franchise, I think. I'm not even gonna put any suspense to it. This is a easy S tier song because two things. One, you can listen to this outside of the game and it has everything you need from a good song. The melody, the tempo part, love it. But there is also a contrast to the light world where you just came from. The first time you come to Dark World and this place, it feels mysterious, but also not too frightening because the music is still kind of, once again, hyping you up, you know? Really like that. Good song, love Dark World. Let's go to the next one. Ganon's Message, right? Yeah. Okay, this one it's good at building tension. I think that it's a kind of repetitive song. I think the Ocarina of Time version of this is much better, actually. But it's still good. It's not something I will put on the playlist, you know, but it is menacing, right? You feel that Ganon, he's just standing there in front of you. And for that, I think, because of the menacing nature, I think this is B tier. This is a classic one, but I think Ocarina of Time did it better. Regarding the rankings and such, this might change. Select screen. Wait, did this play in the first or second Zelda game, or is this the first time this theme is being used in the Zelda series, in the menus? No matter what, I mean, it's a classic, right? Which probably helps it a bit, I would argue. So this is when you select your save file. Once again, kind of a short loop, but it's so beautifully looping. I love this theme. Always filled me with excitement hearing this in any Zelda game, starting a new one up. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier as well, because once again, it's a short song. I don't think it has the substance to really shine too much. Or no, wait, no, this is A tier. This is way too classic. Is classic the word I'm searching for? It's way too, you know, it's just too good. I don't even know what to say. That's the proof of an A tier song. For now, at least. We'll see. Next one. Kakariko Village. You know, Kakariko Village is one of those tracks I didn't enjoy too much growing up. But the older I get, the more I appreciate this one. Just taking things slow and easy, having a chill time. Kakariko Village just embraces all of that. And it gets time to shine, right? There are different sections of the song, and they built, well, it doesn't really matter what the rest of the series did. Okay, I'm actually arguing within my head here if this is an S tier or A tier song. If I asked my younger self, I would be like, B, not too much action. But nowadays, I just think it's really solid. Once again, for what it tries to do, and also being a really good song in general. I'm gonna put Kakariko Village in S tier. Just watch me. Like that. Next one. Boss BGM. I don't know why this is called BGM and the others aren't. The drums. That's not how the drums went, by the way. I just... I don't know what I did there. This is a... If the previous loops were short, this one is, you know, just really, really short. It's menacing. I think it does that work good. You know, like you're facing something evil right now and you can see it in front of you and you're also feeling it or hearing it. But I don't think that it's a particularly good song. It's very stressful, which I both like and dislike. I think this goes into C tier. I think it's kind of a weak boss theme. A track from another game that does it better overall is Secret of Mana. The boss theme there is just screams of how difficult of an encounter you're gonna face, but it's also a good song. You can do both. I don't think this one does. Sanctuary Dungeon. I think this plays in the Light World dungeons, right? So we have different themes for Light World and Dark Worlds. That's how it is, I think. I need a little bit of time to think about this one. This is also a little bit of a sleeper hit, I would argue. It's not a track that you think about when thinking about the game in general. I think something like Dark World is something you instantly jump to. But I think this one is really good. For once again, telling you of a danger that you're facing with the whole dungeon itself. Like, things are not gonna be easy for Link. I wish I knew how to speak about music. I'm just speaking from my ass, as with many other things, but music in particular. The question here is, do I want to put this in B or A tier? I'm actually gonna challenge A tier and see if it will remain in there. Next one is Church. So this is a song that plays in a very small time frame of the game. You are not hearing this one too much. I've always visualized this part here as a choir chanting something. That is my imagination of it, at least. Once again, for what it tries to do, I think it's setting a very unique vibe for the church, even though you're only there for a very, very small amount of time. Anyway, not a horrible song, but I still think like, it doesn't leave a long-lasting impression. I think it's C tier. Okay, next one. Spoilers, it's the Guessing Game House. When I thought about this list, I thought that this is something that you wouldn't like, right? But it has a little bit of a nice rhythm to it that I haven't thought about before, especially here. This part raises one rank. I think I'm gonna go with B tier. Very short loop, doesn't get a lot of breathing room, but I can feel the stress of just like, oh, which one am I gonna choose? Which chest? Simple sip of the coffee. Okay, next one. Oh, battle with Ganon. So this is the final battle theme. Those long notes here. Not a fan. I like the beginning a lot, but I think it gets kind of worse over time. There's not a whole lot of interesting things going on, except for that you can kind of hear the Ganon theme in the background, a little bit of it. But those long notes, no. This is C tier. I don't think it's a bad song, but I don't think it's that interesting. And for being a final fight, I think it's just too short. I would like to have one more section that does something interesting. Next one. Triforce Chamber. When I did go through and fetch all the music, I didn't remember this song being separate from the credits. I just didn't remember this song, but I think it's a really nice one when I listen to it now. I think it's trying to tell us, you know, about like how Link has fought his way through the whole game and has now finally reached the end and found the Triforce and just the calmness that comes with getting to such a place or state. Not an amazing song, but once again, for what it tries to do. The question then comes, A or B tier? I think I'm gonna go with B tier right now. Let's try that and see what we think later. Okay, next one, Crystal. So this is the song that plays anytime you rescue a princess from one of the 7 princesses, right? You have Zelda's theme in there. And it's nice to be greeted with this after clearing a dungeon. But it isn't that special. It's not bad. And the question then comes down to B or C tier. The thing is, if Triforce Chamber is in B tier, that feels wrong. I'm gonna put that into A, and I'm gonna put Crystal into B. I think that makes more sense for me. Next one. I'm not sure if we are ranking those within the ranks themselves, but I'm probably putting Hyrule Castle as the best song, one of the best songs at least in the game. I think this song has it all. You have a good song, you have the threat that the song tries to tell you about. You know, getting into Hyrule Castle, everything is The soldiers are trying to kill you for some reason. Why are they like that? What's happening in Hyrule? Where is the princess? My uncle has just died. We need answers. And we're going into the basement and trying to find Princess Zelda. The melodies are amazing in this song. They have different sections that all sound really cool. I love this song. Definitely one of the best songs in the game and in the whole franchise. Let's go to the next one. Fortune Teller. Ooh, this is one song that you don't hear a lot. I think that I generously can agree to C tier here. I like the little dun, 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 dun. I get the image of a fortune teller, but it's very close to getting into D tier. I don't think it belongs in D tier, I think. Opening demo. So this one is starting the same as the Falling Rain song, but then it differentiates it with this part where you get all the lore of the game before starting it up. It's a bit of a stressful background part to it. There are different layers to this one. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think it's just the solid in the middle, in between. That's what I'm going with. Opening demo. I think the background part kind of takes it down a notch for me. It's just a bit too much. But they are still changing things up, I think. Not sure. Let's continue. Priest. So this is the song that plays... Oh, is it the first time you enter the Light World's ending? When you gather all 3 medallions and you're gonna face off against Ganon? And it's probably the same in the Dark World as well, right? In the tower, I would assume. So I think so. It's Gagon's song anyway. Menacing, you have the Ganon theme going on in there. You can feel that there's something more to it. I don't think Ganon's theme was a thing before this game, so you wouldn't know that as a player. But if you have played Ocarina of Time and then go back to this one, then you would know that, oh wait, this is Ganon. Well, Ganon's theme. Why is it playing when I'm facing off against Ganon? Is that how we say his name? Ganon? I don't remember. It's very hard to spell at least. Anyway, I think this is a B tier song. Nothing too special about it except that the menacing part of it, right? You feel that something's up. You should probably hurry because things could hit the fan. And it's during this song that Zelda is teleported away into the Dark World, right? Good cutscene. Very short. Next one. So yeah, this is a different version of the opening theme. Much shorter. Once again, you have this hectic part of the song here, and usually during this time you also hear like the falling rain. That's what you hear at this part of the song, so it's a bit weird listening to this without it. This one is shorter than the opening demo, but it is good at showing you, you know, like hurry up, this is not gonna be real pleasant right now. And you do also find your uncle dead a couple of seconds later. So I still think it goes into the B tier. It's not terrible. Not great, not terrible. Overworld theme. Let's go! This one is a classic. So this is one of the few tracks that I know, without a doubt, is a part of the first game. So when you're hearing this as a returning player of the franchise, you're meant to be excited. I'm excited right now. I want to explore Hyrule when I hear this song. And this little screenshot down here you see on the Overworld track, I love how this game mixes the green grass with the dirt roads. I just think that the dirt roads especially looks really good. Remixed songs in newer games are cringe. No, they're not. It's a time where you have the potential to be really hyped up. I think it's a nice thing. If it's done correctly. You shouldn't just do it. Well, Kirby, well... Kirby's its own thing, right? I think the Overworld theme in A Link to the Past is weaker than the Dark World theme. I think the Dark World Overworld theme is much better. Is the Overworld theme an S tier or an A tier? It is so iconic for the franchise, and I do like it, but I don't love it like I do with Dark World and Hyrule Castle, and even Kakariko. It almost feels like Zelda bait to put this in S tier, just because you have the Zelda melody, but it's still good. I think it's better than all of those tracks. But there's something about how it's done that makes me put it into A tier. Next song, The Goddess. This is very close to the select screen. To be honest, I don't even remember what the difference is from the select screen. Have they reused the same song? I haven't even thought about that before. Which in itself is a little bit of an accomplishment. If you can hide that you're reusing assets, then it's a good thing. Yeah, it probably is the same. Okay, so this is The Goddess, and then we're gonna listen to this. This is the select screen, as you can see. And now we're listening to The Goddess Appears. Yeah, it is only the beginning that is different, right? Same song with just a slight differentiation in the beginning. And this song is the second time you hear it. I think that detracts. The first time you hear it, I think this fits much better. File select song. It's the first time I hear it, and then you hear it once again, takes away from it. Detract points, even though it's more or less the same song. Because context is important. Okay, next song, Forest. Yeah, I think it's a very good song that just takes you somewhere in your mind when you're hearing it. It is very short though. I think that it could have gotten a little bit more attention. It would have been nice to just have a little bit more length to it. But there is this playfulness of it. Like you're a kid in the forest walking around, but it loops like after 20 seconds. 20 seconds is a short loop. This is at least B, maybe even an A. I'm gonna be okay with B tier. If it had more volume to it, not that volume, like in hearing more of it, but just more like being a bit more beefier of a track. Yeah, B tier it is. Next up, Princess Zelda's Rescue. Yeah, the titles doesn't match one to one. This is a work in progress thing, people. This is the first time I'm trying this out. They are building upon the Crystal theme here, which also uses the Zelda's theme. But here you get to hear more of it. And from what I remember from the Crystal theme, it's also a little bit more clearer, this one. And this one gets time to breathe. And I am gonna listen to Hikarg's comment word by word, actually. I was also thinking a little bit B-Ray, but because of how iconic it is one thing to think about, even though I don't put too much emphasis on it. But I think it's a good track. Once again, different layers, I'll always like that. And when you hear it, when you're finally rescuing Zelda, and you know that it's time to head for the tower, this is just the calm before the storm, kinda. And I think it does that very well. Yeah, this is A tier material. The rabbit song, or the rabbit sound effects, it's barely a song, just sound effects put together. This is an underrated track, to be honest. Ooh, here I am kinda throwing all the shit at it. And Hikarg is immediately coming to the defense. I like this. This is the live aspect of it all that I really enjoy. Because it is under all the tiers. Underrated. Okay, maybe a B, but it's really short, so maybe C. It's absolutely not taking one step above C tier. So the only thing I like about this is that your senses have just been taken away from you. You have been turned into a rabbit. You don't know what's upside down or anything. It's like, where the hell am I? What happened? And I can kind of feel that this song tries to convey that. That's what I feel, at least. But I'm a bit towards what Skug says there, that it's just SNES wind sounds and overall just sound effects. I think the song itself is not good, but for what it tries to do, it's really compressing your senses. That's the vibe I get. And that's not something you see very often in the Super NES games. I feel generous when I put it in C. It's kind of close to D. But yeah, tough crowd. Yeah, I mean, we need a little bit of balance in here. Everything can't be the best. But I like this. I like different perspectives on it. It's nice. It's a cool one. I like that it's in the soundtrack, but ranking it's not getting more points from me than this. Dark World Dungeon. So this one is immediately comparable to the Sanctuary Dungeon, which is the Light World Dungeon theme, right? And then we have Dark World Dungeon, which is the Dark World Dungeon theme. One issue that the Dark World Dungeon theme has, if we don't even think about the music track itself, is that you hear it 7 times, I think. Maybe even 8, because aren't you hearing it in the tower as well, right? You hear it a lot. But I do like the dark atmosphere of it. The thing with the background music, or the background kind of part of this song, is also present in the opening demo, is that I think it fits kind of well to Link's running animation, which I like. I haven't grown tired of it. I just think that it pales just a little bit in comparison to the Light World theme. So, but it is still good at what it tries to do. But I like the Light World version so much more. I think this is B tier for me. But if I were to rank the B tier songs, it would be the highest. I think Ganon's message goes down a bit here. B for brilliant, yeah. I mean, B isn't bad. It's just, it's mid, kinda. I think C is more like mid. D is shit, or bad, really bad, kinda. If you compare a lot of good stuff, you still want them compared to each other as well, right? So some things just fall down automatically, even if it's a soundtrack of bangers. Even though A Link to the Past is all over the place, I think. Anyway, boss clear fanfare. 13 seconds. You can feel that Link has won when listening to this, right? That is a fanfare, if I have ever heard one. Link is just like, yes, yes, like that, you know? That's what the feeling you get from it. 13 seconds long, 4 of them is silence. It's a short one. It can't do too much during that time. But I think it's a B tier thing, because like what it does well. It deserves to be higher than Rabbit. That's and Fortune Teller. Fortune Teller is also not high on the list. Cave. The water effect sounds really good for being a Super Nintendo game. That's the first thing I think about. It sounds like someone is just walking in water, in a puddle. It feels like you're in an isolated cave. I can really feel what Koji Kondo went for when he composed this. So I think that's good. I don't think it's something that's really nice to listen to for a longer burst of time. I think this is once again a good example of a B tier song. It does its job good, but doesn't really impress me in other ways. I think that water effects alone makes it rise a bit. But I definitely also see why you would put it in C tier, because the song itself isn't very good to listen to. Okay, next up. First off, this one plays when you have soldiers hunting you, right? And there is a little bit of stress to it that I like because of that. But that's also the only thing I like about it, because it starts off strong. Listen to the first second. Dun, dun, dun. It comes under like, big and mighty. Rawr. But then it just sounds weak and so puny. And then it just repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. I think this could potentially be the worst song in A Link to the Past. I think it's gonna go into D tier. Okay, so next up we have the Epilogue. So Link has just fetched the Triforce, and this starts to play. Yeah, this is spoilers. Link wins in the end, Jebren. I'm sorry to say, but in this adventure game from 1992, I think. I totally agree with the card. I think this is one of kind of like the rest of the S tier songs, to be honest, that feels like a full song. So what's happening during this song is that you get to see parts of of Hyrule, the world that you just saved. And this image here, for example, those two lumberjacks just standing there. I think that they have moved to another tree, and just seeing how people are, you know, moving on in their lives and everything. I just think this is such a nice thing about especially games, because you have a world that you explore, right? And then the credits shows you what happens to the world after you saved it. Of course, movies and other types of storytelling can have this as well, but it's a different thing when you have been playing around in the world. I just really like that part of credit scenes and such overall. Yeah, like Hikaru says, endings that gives you a proper send-off. That's nice. Oh, what a song. I really love this one. It's so good. Okay, Starfall. Yeah. It's kind of insane how the game is throwing 3 different songs at you at the end, like this. The Triforce Chamber, the Epilogue theme, and then the Starfall. So here you have the credits roll, right? And then you also have the Triforce kind of using their the Super Nintendo scale 3D magic in there. Not a whole lot going on, but just a really nice ending to it all. A much more laid back or just slower song in comparison to the Epilogue. Yeah, it is indeed a cool way to wind down after the rush of the Epilogue song. It's good, but in another way, right? It's definitely below the Epilogue, I agree with that. But I still think this is an S tier song, because just the way that you wind down with it. I'm gonna do it, people. I think it belongs there. Oh, and then you get the Legend of Zelda theme in there as well. Oh, okay, this is S tier. I'm not regretting my choice. And this version, yeah, me too, right? You also forgot about that. I just think that this song incorporates the main theme better than the Overworld. I think that the Overworld, I'm gonna keep it in A tier, even though I was a bit like on the fence about that one. Yeah, the build up to this is good. And yeah, we have Jabran's very different perspective from the rest of us here, right? Even for someone like him who don't enjoy Zelda, actually like the main theme. Yeah, that's a good seal of approval right there, right? Man, this is a builder. They just like 1 layer, 2 layer, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers, like 1,000 layers. Let's go. Oh, that is good. And then the contrast. Fortune teller time. Let's go. C tier, fight me. Hikog says, I gotta say, I really enjoy this format. A good way for us all to enjoy some good and sometimes less good tunes. Really happy to hear that. Just sitting here speaking about those tracks, I really do enjoy doing this. So very happy to hear that, Hikog, that you enjoy this, and I can very well see myself do something really soon again with this. Let me know if there are any soundtracks that you would like to do this for, and maybe we can, if you would like to help out, you'll of course get credit for it. And if you have any recommendations of games that you would like to see the same kind of format for, let me know. But man, this was fun. I really like this. I've been thinking about this for a long while. Now I finally did it.